So the mindset, 5 simple things. And my mentor sat me down and he went over this and I'm like, man, you are just crazy. I'm trying to wrap my mind around what you're saying to me. And it took me a while. It took me a while to come to, my senses. So I know as we go over the 5 points, you're going to have to digest it. But don't take too long to do that. Does that make sense? And just take me at my word, from the standpoint of, it's not just you. So when I'm saying you, think of it as the people that are on your list. Who has their list with them? Show me your list. 100 name list. Just wave it up in the air. If you got your list, just wave it. On your phone. That is your list. That ain't no list. 70. I said ain't no list because you only got 70 names. It ain't a list until there's 100 names. You got your list, right? So just think about it from the standpoint of the people that you're going to talk to. You have to deal with yourself first. Does that make sense? But think about the people that are on your list that you haven't called yet. And you've been in longer than 21 days. And you haven't gotten through your 100 names yet. Right? Because that's 5 a day. Does that make sense? So think about it from that standpoint. So the first thing is the why. So you have to have a reason. If you don't have a reason to do the business, I talked about being able to finance a college education, being able to give your parent an opportunity to live with you in their twilight years versus a nursing home. Right? Now you can build that whole section of the house, just for them with their needs. Right? So that's the why. Whatever your reason is, that should be your fuel to get you through whatever adversity you're going to face, because you will face adversity in building your business. A lot of people are going to tell you no. You're going to experience rejection. You're going to have doubt. You're going to have fears, trepidation, and all that kind of stuff. But the bottom line is that your why should be strong enough to pull you through it. And my mentor told me, he said, if your why is not to the point where if you thought about it long enough you would cry, then it's probably not a strong enough why. So what are some of the reasons? Just why are you doing the business? Who? Anybody? Yes, sir.
My family.
Your family? Now that's very broad, right? So the thing with your why, it has to be very specific. Give me more. Your family what?
I got a 1-year-old daughter. I don't want her to be like me. I want her to have whatever she wants.
That's more specific, right? It's still broad, but that's more specific. Does that make sense? So the idea is that, 1-year-old daughter, by this date, I want to have this much money in an account for her for college, or if she wants to go and be an entrepreneur, that money is there for her to start her own business. Does that make sense? Or she needs to take tap dancing lessons and it costs $500 a week. That's more specific, concrete. Your brain does not operate on vague stuff. My family, more money. That's not concrete enough for your brain to grab onto. Your brain works with details and specifics. The more specific you can be, the more real it becomes. So that when you're describing a situation, you should be able to close your eyes and see it materialize. Right? So it's not just the Mercedes. It's like, what class Mercedes? What color is it? What color is the interior? Is it a pinstripe on it? Right? Does it have a sunroof, retractable? The more detail you can put into your why, the better it's going to be. Another reason, another why. Anybody, come on. Let's have some. Yes.
My son's disability.
Your son's disability. More specific though. Right? That's very broad. Be specific. Go a little deeper.
I want to recover him. I want him to be better. I want him to have a healthy life.
Okay. Excellent. I heard your own dream, right? That's still broad, right? Everybody's doing broad. What's your dream? Go deeper. See, that's more. I want to be able to quilt and sew every day. Does that make sense? That's the dream, but you have to be specific. Yes, sir.
Well, mine is to go to every Sizzle International Conference all around the world every year.
That's your goal?
Yes.
Okay. That's kind of specific, and that's your goal, right? So now you got to quantify how much money it's going to cost. You understand? What's the time frames? Again, the more detail you can put in your why, the better it's going to be. So let's take one more. Yes?
Yeah, mission field. Got in the mission field with my family.
Get out in the mission field.
Yeah.
What country?
Sure.
Africa. What country in Africa?
My brother-in-law's there.
Your brother-in-law's there. That's good. Wherever he is. Right? So all my point is that you have to be specific. If you have a goal to make more money, I can guarantee if I had somebody sitting next to you and I gave you both the same opportunity. I had someone sitting next to you and they said, I want to make $5, every hour. And you had a goal to make more money, this person will achieve their goal much faster than you will make more money. Because your concept of money has not been quantified. Because if I help you make $10 in Sizzle, that's $10 more than you had. Have you achieved your goal? Probably not. Does that make sense? So your why has to be the fuel to you building your business. And this is why when you look at our one-page presentation, what's the first thing in the box?
Your why.
Huh?
Your why.
Right. The first box is why. Somebody asked me, why do you start with the why? I said, why are you asking me questions? This is my, no, not yet. This is my presentation. I ask the questions. Don't ask me questions. Why not start with why? Why am I talking to you? Give me some clue on why you're even looking at this opportunity. Does that make sense? The reason that you want that why, because you're going to use that to pull them into the opportunity, but for their reason and not your reason. Does that make sense?
Yes.
When I say pull, I mean show value, right? Because once you have the why, the rest of it you can touch on that why through the rest of the presentation. It's like pressing a button, right? And it's not you manipulating them. You ask them why, they're telling you why, now you're going to tell them why this is the thing that can give them the solution that they're looking for. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So that's why that box is there. Why? Does that make sense? So I'm going to go to this mindset, and I'm going to tie that mindset into this one-page document. The second thing is you have to be hungry. And I did graduate from the person that is not a rumor. That's not a rumor.
Hungry.
Now the thing about graduating from Columbia University is that they give you a degree in Latin. When I got my degree and I couldn't read it. I just had to share with y'all because I'm still mad about it. I was so mad I just gave it to my mom. I said, here, I don't even want this. And then they had the audacity to charge you for the English version. I had to get that out. I'm sorry. Hungry, right? It's not a regular kind of hunger. It's not a hunger. I missed breakfast this morning. I woke up a little late. The meeting started, and I haven't eaten yet. So I'm hoping you move a little faster so I can go get me something to eat. Right? It's not that kind of hungry. It's hungry. I'm hungry. I've been crawling in the desert for 3 weeks. I haven't eaten anything for 3 weeks. They found me by the mirage that I thought was an oasis, right? What's the first thing you're going to do when you get to some place where you can get your needs met? What's the first thing you're going to do? Eat. You're going to drink something probably and then get something to eat, right? You're not going to go home and turn on Regulate. Is Regulate still on? No. Oak no. Tower. You're not going to go home and turn on Tower Banks, right? Right? You're not going to go home and put on the baseball. I'm all confused, right? The baseball game, right? Because that's forms of what? Procrastination. And think about it. You're sitting there watching TV. Everybody you're looking at has already made money. Or if you're watching a live game, they're making money. Right? But you're sitting there wasting time. You know how many calls you can make in an hour? And you can be done for the day? But you watching CSI, you know the person. You know who did it pretty much, right? The bad guy. The crazy people that like to chop people up, he did it, right? And they're going to get him. There's going to be 5 minutes left and they're going to find him, right? Somebody might get shot, whatever. They try to get rid of a character or something like that, right? But those people are very, well paid to put us in a position just to look at the commercials, right? So that we can go out and spend more money. Do you understand?
Yes.
Right? So So my mentor told me, he said, throw your TV out the window.
Amen.
Right? I didn't do it. Right? But what I did do, I got a piece of paper. And at the time I was married. And my I don't even know what they call it now. What's it called? People used to be married to ex. Okay, my ex. Right? I didn't want her to throw me out the house at that point, even though she eventually did. Right? So I didn't throw the TV out the window, but what I did was I got a piece of paper and I put what on it?
Why?
I put my Y on it. And you know where I put that? Bam! Right in the middle of the TV. Every time I thought about watching TV, what's the first thing I saw? My reason. But you know what? I printed out about 20 of those things. I put it on the door of my apartment. So every time I walk out the door, I put it on the cabinet above the sink when I'm washing dishes. I put it above the stove. I put it on the refrigerator. I put it in the bathroom. Did I say that already? I put it in the bathroom mirror. I put it on the floor. I'm in the bed. And when you do like that, your feet hit the ground. Guess what I was standing on when I woke up in the morning? My why. I put it on the headboard. The last thing that I saw before I got in bed, what did I see? It was everywhere. Everywhere until I could get it into my mind. And I really didn't need it. But at that point, I had to reprogram myself. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So that's why that why is important. But you have to have a hunger that is not the hunger like, just something that you think you might want to do. But it has to be that hunger that if you don't get it satisfied, right? If I told you you could not eat until you reach 5-star master distributor, how long would it take you to get there? Right? Grace is standing there like, what? I dare you. What? You want something to eat? You got to make that phone call. Right? So the third thing is commitment. Right? So you need to make a commitment. Right? The commitment is beyond just a commitment, because a lot of times when people think about commitment, they think about making a commitment to somebody else. Correct? Am I right?
Yeah.
I'm going to make a commitment to you, right? But who do you need to make the commitment to first? You need to make the commitment to yourself first. Make the commitment to yourself. You're going to do what you said you were going to do long after the feeling that you said it under has passed you by.